Good evening. Welcome to this late night edition of It's My Turn Now. I'm in the lounge there in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just want to come on. Tonight is National Women's History Day. I think that's correct. I know it's National Women's History Month. I just wanted to take a special time to just let to talk about women and women's issues for about 30 seconds, 30 minutes rather. And if you're on there, come on, let us know that you're on here. This is something new for me. We see people around. I've been here just come back from Nassau, Bahamas. Wasn't able to have the program on Monday, but it's been a very busy week. I'm on my way back in to Indiana, and just want to just talk about some of the challenges as a counselor, therapist. A lot of times I talk to different women. I deal with various challenges. As a matter of fact, I've been fortunate to write a book, "The Woman's Worth Do You Know Your Value," and uh, I've had a number of women who have just purchased the book. Matter of fact, since I've been on this trip right here, I can't tell you how many women have bought the book because I think women have unique challenges. Many times men do not have the proper value for women that they should, and I just think that they should be recognized. I think it's important that we take the time, this Women's History Month, take the time to recognize and celebrate. They should be celebrated, and a lot of times they aren't celebrated. And we have to understand how important a good woman is, and we need to just take that time to celebrate them. And that's why I want to know what your thoughts are. I appreciate you joining us on short notice, 30 minutes. I'm gonna make this a 30-minute segment just to let you know. I don't know. What do you think about late night format? Normally, I'm on here 8 o'clock. I'm out by 9. And there have been times when I have thought about just doing a late night segment because sometimes people want to talk late at night when maybe everybody's in bed and maybe you got some thoughts and there's time and everything's quieted down. And this is a good time for you to just talk and just to share your thoughts. So, if you think that you like maybe once a month or every so often have a late night episode of It's My Turn, maybe once a month, just let me know. Write in the comment box that that's something that you'd be interested in doing. Brother Davenport says, "Praise the Lord, everyone." Shirley Walden says, "Praise the Lord, everyone." And so, if that's something that you think that you would like to, maybe once a month or so, have a late night segment, and you can talk about different topics. There's some topics that you talk about during the daytime. There may be some more sensitive topics that you would rather talk about, after 10 o'clock. So, just like to know what your thoughts are. One of the things I think is important is being flexible. And I try to be flexible with this program, just flexible in life. You have to be flexible, willing to change. And so I just thank God for this opportunity to be a week. Like I said, I'm here at Charlotte. You pray for me. I'm beginning my flight. Will be leaving in about a half hour, 45 minutes or so. So I want you to keep me in prayer. But it's been a fantastic week. I've had a great time. What you ladies are thinking? Do you ladies think that men appreciate women like they should? And if you don't think they do, what would you suggest? A lot of times, most men think that they go out of the way, and there are some good men out there that go out of the way to make their wives feel special, to make friends feel special. I think one of the things I found out in a healthy relationship, if a young man has a healthy relationship with his mom, then oftentimes that translates to the relationship they have with their their wife or their girlfriend, whatever. If they have unhealthy relationship with their mom, then a lot of times that translates to a unhealthy relationship and other relationships. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that men across the board respect women? I know we live in a different time when the younger men a lot of times they really are being challenged. I had the opportunity to talk to this young man here. I talk off and on. He's working here, and he's a young man in his 30s, and talk about his views of how women should be treated, how he treated women. And they're pretty interesting. But again, these younger generation, their thoughts and views are totally different than they were in my generation. So sometimes you just have to kind of listen to them to kind of see what their thoughts are. So what are your thoughts? If you think that What are your thoughts? How young men should treat the women? Do you think they treat them with respect, or what are your thoughts? And how are women's attitude toward men these days? A lot of times, women's attitude are totally different than they were when we were coming up. So, but I think that's a discussion to be had. The ideals and the concepts and the views of a relationship, how men talk to women, how women talk to men, and how they treat each other. And so, we don't talk about that, but uh, there is need to talk about. And then there's still a little sexism out there too. Even unfortunately, even in the church, there um, people don't always value women, and so that's why I wrote the book, A Woman's Worth. Do you know your value? I think it's very important that men understand and come to recognize the importance of a woman's worth, a woman's value. And I think it's important that every woman should understand their worth and their value. And one of the things I've come to understand, and maybe not as necessary in church, and it could be in the church, I don't know, because I don't know about every situation, but there are a lot of men that find themselves making women feel when they disrespect them or treat them wrong, they want the woman to feel like, oh, it's your fault. You did that. And so what they do is they try to attach the negative their attitude toward their person and make them feel that they've done something wrong with the heaven. But in order to make them feel superior to the young lady, then that's what they do. So let me see. God bless you, Evangelist Phelps. So, what are your ladies? I know, Sister Phelps, you are over the women's ministry there in Missouri. Tell me what your thoughts are. I love to hear what your thoughts are. You can your thoughts in, or if you want to come on live, like I said, this is just impromptu. I'm here at the, on my way back to Indiana. I guess like Michael Jackson said, I'm going back to Indiana. So I'm going back to Indiana. So I just thought I'd come on here because I didn't come on. Actually, my goal was to do a live episode from Bahamas, and I just got so busy wasn't able to do a live version from Bahamas. So, um, but I'm doing this midway, so I guess it's close enough. Again, those who let me know what your comments. What do you think about a live version of "It's My Turn Now" at a later time? Because a lot of times, especially on Friday nights, a lot of times people are, they settled in and they have a time to talk. And at the end of the day, and you may be thinking about different thoughts. So, what do you think about late night version of "It's My Turn Now"? I agree with your comment. Okay, I appreciate you agreeing with comment. Which comment is that you agree with? So just tell me which comment that you agree with. Um, but I appreciate your support. Appreciate you being on here. But I just think it's so important that men have to be more sensitive to, to women's feelings, their emotions, their attitudes, and a lot of guys are just not sensitive. So this is live, as you can tell in the background. People are working. They sound like they got louder when I start talking, but that's okay. But it's something that communication, and we have to realize that people communicate. Men communicate different than women. Women communicate different than men. And so, what do you suggest? I would ask you, ladies that are on here, what if you had one suggestion for men and how men should respond to women? What would that suggestion be? What would if you just had one suggestion? Say, I think that men should do this right here when it comes to women. What would that thought be? Because men need to hear. We need to hear that. One of the things I found out too is that sometimes people have thoughts, but they are unwilling to express them. And a lot of times, ladies, I have to say it, women assume that men should know how they feel or know what they thought, or they think they should be intellectually, emotionally mature enough to understand what their thoughts are. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. And so we've got to be willing to communicate. And I do think that we need to have dialogue. The church, I believe that the church should address all kind of issues, and communication within the church is a big factor. uh, Men and women communicating, because people see things differently. Men see things differently. A lot of times women see things totally different than men. Or they, who's right, who's wrong? It's a many times a lack of understanding What the other person said. God bless you. Men should not be intimidated by women, especially in the ministry. All right, I appreciate that. I agree to. Men should not be intimidated, and I think there's a lot of intimidation within the ministry, and there are very capable men and women in the ministry. I think if a person is capable of doing the job, give them the respect that they're due. I'm going to say you heard from me. Give them the respect they do. Don't just be so quick to say, we won't be dismissive of someone because they're female. Because oftentimes, again, we it's a proven fact that the majority of people that are in the church many times are women. So why would they be the majority and they are the minority when it comes to leadership? Am I making any sense to somebody? They are the majority, but yet somehow men want to get a hold on them and make them the minority when it comes to leadership. That means someone is not recognizing the value and the worth of these women. And so, I want you to know that it's time that their worth and their value is recognized. This is Women's History Month. Set some time out. Set some time out to say, hey, we don't recognize these women. I don't know if the churches have anything planned. Because see, we the only time we really recognize and ladies is Mother's Day. Well, Mother's Day is good, but there are other days that women can be acknowledged and women can be recognized besides Mother's Day. So we need to recognize them 24/7, during this. Especially during this time of recognizing this special Women's History Month. So it's a need. It should be done. If you agree with me, say something. Like I said, let me know I'm not the only one here up at after 10 o'clock at night. So let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. So again, as me, I'm a firm believer. This is a book I wrote, The Worth of a Woman. Do you know your value? A lot of women have purchased books. Matter of fact, I probably I've talked to different people because I carry the book with me sometimes when I go, and I've probably sold 5 books just at the airport, and that lets me know that there are ladies who have a consciousness and awareness to say, I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. And so in doing that, and God has placed on my heart to write this book to help women to be the best version of themselves they can be. Said, I know a lot of this is tied to patriarchal thinking. You're right, it is. So how do we change that? If that's what it's tied to. How do we change that? And the work about, because I think it's important that women have to understand their worth. Now, when many times when I share this with various ladies, they said, "I know my worth, and I know my," and it's not that book. It's understanding your full potential, understanding that you can't let anybody or anything prevent you from being the best you can. And there are people who will try to hold you back. There are people that will try to hold you back from being the best you can. Sister said, I read the book. It's very good. You can say that again. So she said she read the book and it's very good. I've had a lot of pastor wives use this, and I appreciate you saying that. And I just feel like that you will get something out of this right here. So what do you think? Would you suggest that? Evangelist Jones, would you accept that? Recommend that for other ladies? Because sometimes people, the first reaction, I know my value, I know my worth, but it goes beyond. It gives you ideals about yourself and ways to better yourself, ways to understand yourself, ways to view yourself. Because sometimes, our view of ourselves is tainted by our perception or how people respond to it. And so, when you understand your worth, you have to get to the point you say, well, I'm not going to let anybody minimize who I am. And that's not only for women, that's for men. Sometimes people try to minimize who you are. You just can't do it. It's a constant and honest dialogue is a start. That's true. So where do we start from there? In the church, this is Women's History Month. I think that every church should set some time to recognize women. Don't just wait till Mother's Day. Recognize because they are a very vital part of the church. They're a vital part of ministry. Women get things done. They get things organized, and they're a blessing. They're a blessing to the body of Christ. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have challenges. Yes, they have challenges, but men have challenges. We all have challenges. You just got to keep it real. We all have challenges. So, but I want to know if there's someone else on here. I'm just going to be here about another few more minutes, and I'm going to get off here and gotta catch my next flight. But a lot of times people say, well, I want to talk about this and talk about that, but when they have the opportunity to talk about various things, they don't address it. So let this be a start. The man says, yes, I recommend the book is inspiring, but it also calls you to think and introspect. Thank you. I appreciate that comment. But it's a very good book. It's on Amazon. I've been blessed to write numbers. That's one of the few that I have. I think 10 of my books are on Amazon. So, hey, how you doing there? You doing all right? Hey, so come here, sit down. Listen, I'm doing a show. I do a live talk show.
I can tell. That's
So
right.
you want to say something about women? What are your thoughts on women? What's your name?
My thoughts on women are women rule the world. And this gentleman knows that. That's why his show is so amazing.
All right, there you go. I like that, sis. I like that. You talking right. You talking good. All right, take care. All right, you heard from a stranger. I don't know who she is, but hey, she know. Hey, who am I to argue with her? She said the show's amazing. I will take it. She stepped up to the plate. But I just think we can do better. We can do better. The church should push women, and we have to have an understanding of each other. We have to have an understanding. Amen. My daughter has texted me. You got some comments, Christine? If you got a comment other than what you just texted me, feel free to come on here live and say that. From a young person's perspective, Christina, what are your thoughts on that? Tell us, because I like to know what the young people. So sweet. But hey, when you do something live, you never know who's gonna come around and what's going to happen. But I have about 13 more minutes. If you got something to say, all right, Christian, say praise him. All right, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. And but I do like the concept of a late night program, and I think maybe do that maybe once a month, every other month, a late night program, and talk about various subjects. And what do you think would be a good subject to talk about on late night program? What are we talking about? Thank you, Chris. We're talking about this Women's History Month. I think this International Women's Day. So I just wanted to just share my part on that. Didn't want the day to go by without recognizing this special day, International Women's Day, and just know what women's thoughts are as far as their role, their perspective. I don't think I've had any men on here, but maybe men are in bed, sleep, or at home or whatever. But I think it's a starting point. As Sister said, there should you can have an open dialogue. Say, oh, as a social worker month. Hey, go social worker month. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I love you. Come on here for social worker month. Women are amazing. That's all. Women are amazing. I think we have to recognize it. We have to appreciate that. And I think men have to allow women to understand that how amazing they are. But sometimes people are threatened. And I hate to say this, women, and you women know sometimes men are threatened. They're threatened by women who are intelligent, who are knowledgeable. They're threatened by them, and because they're threatened by them, they want to hold them back. Allow people to be themselves. A good, strong woman is an asset. If she's married, she's an asset to the husband. If she's an employee on the job, she's an asset on the job. If she's a worker in the church, she's an asset to the church. I would like to hear a discussion on the apostolic women pioneer. All right, I like that. Anybody else have an idea? We gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen because why? Because it's your turn now. So let us know. I'm always open. I get people oftentimes tell me, this is something I want, and I always pray about when to do a certain thing because there's nothing I'm afraid to talk about or not willing to tackle. But I just, sometimes I just pray and ask God when is the best time. But I think that's something that and if you'd like to come on and talk about that, I've had you on. I think once or twice. I even had your sister on, and I appreciate that. And if you want to be a guest, so it's my turn now. Hey, just let me know because it's always your turn. I like everyone to be involved. On it's my turn now. So, but certainly I just want to come on here and just share with you, share what your thoughts are, and do you women feel that women are treated the same in the church, on your job, on businesses? What are your thoughts? Do you feel that there is equal treatment for women? Do you think, or maybe you know more than I do? I'm just talking from a male perspective, but you know more than I. So, what are your thoughts? And this is a gentleman right here that I was talking to. He has some very
going on?
we talk extensively about women. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of different views. His views kind of a little different mine because he's a younger fellow, man. You young guys, young guys got a little twist when it comes to relationships, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got to sit down. We've been sitting down. We're not sitting down. He's been
I'm
working.
not media trained. Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. Okay. Hey, I got a few more minutes. We could cut out of here in a few more minutes, so I can pack it up, and I don't want to miss my flight. If I miss my flight, then somebody gonna have to drive to Charlotte and come get me. I don't know when my next flight's gonna be. But listen, it's been a pleasure. I got about 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes, but the crazy thing about my phone, my computer is fully charged, and as soon as I come on here, it's going down. So hopefully, I don't want it to cut off. I guess I got 8 more minutes of power on here, but I appreciate each and every one of you. It depends. Sister say it depends on the person, place, and time. That's so true. That's so true. So if you feel like that you want to, let me know if you want to be a part of the discussion. Maybe we can have a discussion with men and women and pastors, leaders, teachers, or whatever, because no one has all the information. And again, I can't say, well, women are this, the women that, because to a certain extent, you know yourself. So what I'm saying, I can't tell you your emotions or how you feel because I don't know that. I can only tell you what I've experienced, especially counseling people and doing therapy with people. I've talked to a lot of women. That's what gave me the information to write the book from the experience I had with that. But I can't tell you what you experienced. And some women have experience on their job where they've not been treated right and they know they haven't been treated right because why there's some women are being dismissive at home. The husband dismiss them. They don't respect their knowledge. But I think you're not going to be as effective as you can be unless you open yourself up. And men need to open themselves up and let their women. And I know some men that are insecure when it comes to wife. If you're insecure when you come to your wife, that's a problem. You shouldn't be insecure. First of all, if you married her, hopefully you married her because you feel like that she has something to offer, something to bring to the plate, and to help you better and help you as a team. So, if you have a good wife, then you need to support her. You need to hold her up and let her know that they appreciate. And we just have to do better. We just have to do better, and I think we have to make aware. No sense of acting like it's not happening, but because it is happening. It's happening too often in the church, and then just in the natural, women there's disparity in pay between women and men. Women doing the exact same job as a man, and they're not getting paid the same. And I don't think that we as a church should mimic what the world's doing. We as a church should have a greater awareness and greater recognition of how that we can encourage and support the ladies that are in the church. And I think that's so important. I think we need to do that. And hopefully you got something out here. We got about 6 more minutes. If you got something, brother, you got anything to say? Because he was doing a lot of talking a few minutes ago. You got anything to say? I don't want you to get in no trouble now. What we're talking about. We're talking about what you and I was talking about. We're talking about women, how they should be treated. So I don't know if it's positive. Hopefully.
Happy Women's Month.
All right, then.
Yeah, Happy Women's Month.
All right.
A woman should be treated To be honest, it's different type of woman. So
We got
yeah,
that.
it's
We got-
it's different type of woman.
So were you
So,
saying every woman should be treated differently depending on who they are? What you say?
yeah, every woman should be treated differently.
But should they all be respected?
Yeah, they should be respected.
Now you talking good, brother.
Yeah, they should be respected. Okay. Also, they need to respect the strong, healthy black men.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
See, that comes from a young brother's
Okay.
perspective. Young
Yes,
brother.
all women need to respect the strong, healthy black men.
Okay, so ladies
Okay,
out
we
there.
are the superior race. Do you understand?
Okay, you hear what he's saying. So,
Yeah.
sisters, do you feel he brought up one? That's a young man's view. Do you think that the women, ladies, are not respecting men? Maybe there's some women that don't respect men.
Oh, some of them respect men, but
But what?
all women need to respect the strong, healthy black men.
Okay. So
Okay.
by and large, do you think most of them do or most of them don't?
Yo, man, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, yo,
This is what happens when you go live.
yeah.
You know,
I
it
deal
is
with the
what-
black community.
Okay,
But,
all right then.
yeah, so it was like, yeah. I don't
So
know.
you're saying in the context of people who you're familiar with.
I'm familiar with all women,
Okay.
but I'm in the black community, so I date black women.
So you're saying
You know.
there's some strong black women that are.
Yeah, there are.
Yes.
There's some strong black women. There's some weak black women. There's some disrespectful black women. But so far, what I'm seeing is there are not a lot of black women with brains and that think with logic.
Now listen, I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for his thinking, ladies.
Logic, not
Okay.
emotion. Logic. You know, like we come from the same place. Your father didn't live how you want your man to live. Why you got these high expectations?
You hear from the young man. This
Yeah.
is not, like I said, this is not my view. His view is live,
Yeah.
and he's just here. You know what I mean? He's here. It's his turn now. He's saying what he's thought.
Most
And-
women don't even make $60K a year.
Oh, he's going in now. He's going in now.
I know, but yeah.
Women's History Month. He's going in. Ladies, what do you ladies think about that? And I hate to say it, but this is the way the young men. This is the way the young men thinking. So what do you ladies think? This is live, unscripted. This is the way that the young men are thinking. And is that detrimental or is that valid? What are your thoughts? Now, even when we go off, because we're going to go off in about 2 more minutes, let us know what your thoughts are. Type in there. Does he have a valid point, or is he totally out of line? But if that's the way that the young men are thinking, is that a problem, or is that something we need to address? But I think that we have to be mindful of how, as young men, we have to be mindful of how we approach women, how we talk to them, and understand that they're important. And you can't gauge every woman maybe by a negative reaction that you may have with one other person too. We got about 2 more minutes. We got something to say. Let's say it's your turn now. You got something to say. Hey, it's time to say it. It's late night, so we're late night.
Prime example.
Oh, he's going in again.
Now the girl out the window. When I first got to Charlotte, I used to be seeing her get picked up by this dude that worked for American. She used to be waiting downstairs, waiting for American.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see another dude with his arms around her.
Mm-hmm. So what are you saying? You can't be trusted. I'm not sure what's your point.
You see, yo, hey.
So there you go. But listen, this is what I'm saying.
I don't want to go too far with it. Just
This is what I'm saying. That's why the church has to get out there and see what's going on. This brother, that's his truth. That's what he thinks. Whether I agree with it or not, that's how he thinks, and that's where a lot of young brothers think. And so we got to understand. Sister Shirley says, "Blessing." That's the way a lot of young men think, and we have to address that for what it's worth, and find out why he feels that way. Why other young men feel. You feel like a lot of young men your age feel that way.
Yeah.
You got 60 seconds.
Yeah.
We got 60 seconds. We got 60 seconds, and we are just about out of here. So if you got a comment, please leave a comment. Thank you for the time. 30-minute session. Late night. Again, sometimes we in the church. Sometimes we gotta go out of church, and you may like what you hear. You may not like what you hear, but again, it's his turn. I just give him the freedom to say what's on his mind, and that's what it is. Listen, we love you. God bless you. Thanks for joining this week's episode of This My Turn Now. Be blessed. God bless you. We love you. Take care.